the first half of the wonderful Ant Meczes!
Strings on tea bags. Do they cause more problems than they solve? San Diego, if you saw a moose sing, would you find that funny?
Sure. A moose?
I'd find it amusing. I used to go to the barbers, but that relationship came to a natural end. He died. A few years ago, I went to the doctor, told me I only had a year to live, so I stabbed him. The judge gave me 13 years. That's a joke. It's actually 20 years I've escaped. Any of you seen or been to a psychologist? You've probably seen them. Anyone been to a psychologist?
Yeah.
Well, a few of you. One guy last show I went to went, woo, yeah! That's an unusual reaction to a psychologist, but went to a psychologist, spent an hour with her. At the end of it, she said she felt a lot better. In Australia, it was a cold winter, believe it or not. And I like to turn on the oven in my house to warm it up. Anyone else do that? Just me, then. My son, he likes to touch the glass as it's warming up. When it gets dangerous, I open the door and let him out. It's a cold winter. I think we should speak to homeless people. Do you think we should speak to homeless people? A couple of you do. The rest of you don't care. There's a lot of homeless people in Subiaco in Perth in Australia. I went up to this one guy who sat outside my house, had a conversation with him. In the end, he said, "Can I come in?" I thought that was a bit strange, so I let him in. Went and sat on my sofa. I went into the kitchen. I gave him a key. Said, "Use that in future." He said, "Thanks, Dad." Any of you believe in reincarnation? Well, I don't. 2 years ago, I had a cardiac arrest, which means effectively I died, and I came back as me. There's no way I'd do that. I'd come back as you. Or maybe, no, not you. Or a mutated spider, or a mutated fly, but this, no way. Any of you like to get up early? No. Well, I do. I like to get up early. Turns out so does my neighbour. Just a bit odd finding them on my sofa. Oh, you didn't like that one, did you? Went to a wedding recently. It was a lovely wedding. Great couple, wonderful food, wonderful reception. A little bit awkward. Hopefully next time I get invited. As you can see by looking at me, I like to work out. Go to the gym to work out. Work out why they go at 5 a.m. in the morning. It's crazy, isn't it? I stood next to this one guy and I went, "Why? Why? Why?" He went, "Wait, wait, wait." I said, "I can see that." He got angry, so I left. My preferred exercise is running. I like to put on my running kit and then it's... Eventually, I leave the house. I'll be running along the footpath, I'll be overtaken by those bikes and those e-scooters. I hate those e-scooters. They say it's exercise, it's not exercise, is it? One came past me, went ring ring, he went, "Scooter!" I did not like that. So I shouted back, "Runner!" He was a bit confused. He turned around and crashed into the fence. So I shouted, "Accident!" He was really angry with me, started shouting abuse, but I didn't have my glasses on, so I couldn't hear him. And then I couldn't resist. I turned around and went, "Ha ha ha ha! The best line of defence is always a fence." He did not like that. He got back onto his scooter, but the front wheel was buckled. He took off and crashed into the other side. I couldn't resist. I went, "Ha ha ha ha! Offence number 2. He was really angry. He left his scooter, came running after me. I ran even faster, and that is how I achieved my fastest time for that particular distance. People say I wouldn't hurt a fly. I would. I'd get hold of that fly and say, "You pathetic fly, you vomited on my food and you sucked it up again through your proboscis." Then I'd get some tweezers and I'd start pulling off its legs one by one. I'd go, and I'd look for its wings. If I could find them, I'd go, "You think about your behaviour, you pathetic fly." And then I'd look a little bit more closer and go, "Hang on a minute. 8 legs, no wings. It's a mutated fly. What's the world coming to?" People say they like to be a fly on the wall. They wouldn't. First of all, flies don't have ears. Secondly, they don't last very long, especially when I get hold of them. I get hold of that fly and say, you pathetic fly, you vomited on my food. Then you sucked it up again through your proboscis. I count its legs this time. It wouldn't be full this time. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I count them, go, hang on a minute, 6 legs, 8 wings. Oh, it's a mutated spider. Reincarnation is a thing after all. If you've got kids to build up a lot of clutter in your house, I was irritated. My wife said to me, oh, why don't you get rid of all the things you don't like, you don't want, and we don't need? I thought, you're right, I was so angry. I got rid of all the things I didn't like, didn't want, and didn't need. We sat there watching TV. I was feeling really relaxed. I was so happy. We sat there watching TV, and after 2 hours, my wife turned to me and said, have you seen our son? And I said, have you checked the oven? Thanks very much. I've been Ant Meczes.